Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let's begin the session with prayers. Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय हरे कृष्णा So the way I'm sitting, fully covered with shawl, must be indicating to you what is the current situation in Vrindavan Dham. Although after Sankranti it's supposed to start becoming warmer, but Vrindavan का climate वृंदावन कृष्णा जैसे हैं, अपने मर्जी के मालिक हैं. So it's actually become colder rather than becoming warmer. So we will continue to discuss the 13th chapter, and in all probability, we will conclude the chapter today. Till now, we have seen how Krishna takes Arjuna through a journey of answers for the questions that Arjuna posed at the beginning of the 13th chapter. 13वें अध्याय के प्रारंभ में अर्जुन ने 6 प्रश्न पूछा कृष्ण भगवान से, और उनके उत्तर के माध्यम से 13वां अध्याय को कृष्ण भगवान प्रारंभ करते हैं. एंड लगभग हम उस डिस्कशन की अंत तक आज पहुंच गए. So that means we'll be completing another chapter, 13th chapter out of the 18 chapters. So that means to say that more than 65%, 66% of our portions we will be completing today. In fact, more than that. And we have 4 more smaller chapters, 14, 15, 16, 17, that we will cover, and then go for the grand finale of the 18th chapter, which is a mega chapter, 78 verses. तो 18वें अध्याय तक हम जाएंगे. इसके बाद 4 छोटे अध्याय आएंगे, उसको कंप्लीट करते करते. So we'll be touching 200 episodes in next few days. तत्पश्चात maybe in another 40 sessions we'll be able to complete Bhagavad Gita. So our original plan was that we will complete Bhagavad Gita in 3 years. So we have almost completing the second year. In just a few days we will complete. So going straight away to the topic, starting with shloka number 33. So before that, just recapping yesterday's conclusion that the world determines our situation. हमारी जो परिस्थिति है वो दुनिया निर्धारित करेगा, हमारे संदर्भ निर्धारित करेगा. Circumstances will determine our situation, and we determine our emotions and responses. लेकिन उस circumstance, उस situation के लिए हमारा क्या response होगा, क्या उत्तर होगा, क्या हमारा stance होगा, what will be our approach, that is determined by us. And how we approach is determined by lot of factors: knowledge factor, emotion factors, influential factors, and then pressure factors. तो बहुत सारे चीज निर्भर करेगा कि हम एक सिचुएशन में कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे. So, and we all have come to know by now that Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharaha. Krishna Bhagavan is telling, by my supervision, मैं सूत्रधार हूँ जो भी इस जगत में हो रहा है, होनी सारे जो हो रहा है वो मेरे देख रेख के अंदर अंडर हो रहा है. सो द बेस्ट प्रोसेस टू हील आवर soul, which is now, can say that sick, the soul which is in a state of sickness, per se, when we mean it is in a state of danger, sitting in the material body. So that sickness can be healed by Shravana, by hearing. One of the most important processes, in fact, the most important process for Kali Yuga, Shravana, especially chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and hearing to that very same sound. And Krishna knows our ultimate inside story. तो हमारा अंदर का स्टोरी कृष्णा को पता है. So we cannot fool around with Krishna. So Krishna's supervision in our life, it happens by his supervision. तो कृष्णा का जो दिव्य दृष्टि है, त्रिकाल त्रिकाल ज्ञान है उसके पास, सर्वकाल का ज्ञान है उसके पास. So by supervision, he supervises our lives. So Krishna, in the 33rd shloka, he virtually summarizes what he has talked about in the past 4 shlokas. तो पिछले 4 श्लोक का, we can say that the summary shloka of those 4 shlokas, Krishna gives in this 33rd shloka, Yata sarvagatam saukshmyad akasham nopalipyate sarvatra dehe tatatma nopalipyate na upalipyate nopalipyate tata atma nopalipyate. That soul is not entangled. So tatatma na upalipyate. Which soul is not entangled? Those with vision of eternity. तो ऐसे Atma, we read in the previous shloka. Previous shloka we read, Anaditva Nirgunatvat Paramatmayan Avyaya Sharirastopi Kaunteya Na Karoti Na Lipyate. So Krishna is again reinforcing that concept, Na Upalipyate. Tata Atma, this soul is not going to be entangled or bound. So the sky, due to its subtle nature, Akasha, आकाश क्या है? सूक्ष्म. उसका उसका स्थिति क्या है? सूक्ष्म स्थिति है. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सर्वगताम, द स्काई इज स्प्रेड everywhere, all are pervading. It does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Na upalipyate. तो आकाश किसी से मतलब बंधन में पड़ता नहीं है. although everything is encompassed by आकाश. तो सारे जो सौर मंडल है, we can say the material world is bound by sky, but the sky is never bound by anything. Similarly, the soul that is situated in Brahman vision, that sarvatravastito dehe tata atma. This atma that's situated in Brahman, that is has procured the Brahman vision, does not mix with the body. तो दो सिचुएटेड विद इन द बॉडी, इस देह में रह के भी देहात्म बुद्धि देहात्म बुद्धि से अपने जीवन को नहीं चलाता है. तो अध्यात्म बुद्धि से वो अपने जीवन को चलाता है. सो द एयर एंटर्स इनटू वाटर, मड, स्टूल, वॉट एवर एल्स देर इज. तो हवा हर चीज में गुल मिल सकता है. क्यों ऐसे होगा? बिकॉज उसका जो स्थिति है वो सूक्ष्म स्थिति है. and finer than the air is sky. So that is even more sukshma. So the air enters into water, mud, stool, whatever else is there. Still it does not mix with anything. लेकिन हवा उससे बंध नहीं जाता है. Similarly, the living entity, even though situated in varieties of bodies, is aloof from them due to its subtle nature. क्योंकि क्योंकि आत्मा भी सूक्ष्म है, तो इसलिए सारी जगह में होने के बावजूद, being all pervading, in spite of that, it is never born. Therefore, it is impossible to see with material eyes how the living entity is in contact with the body. तो भौतिक दृष्टि से हम ये सब चीजें नहीं देख पाते. We cannot appreciate it. And this body, and how is out of it after destruction of the body, no one in science can ascertain this. आज भी कोई भी वैज्ञानिक संशोधन से ये पता नहीं चला है कि आत्मा इतना जो सूक्ष्म है, तो उसका आकार क्या है, उसका डायमेंशंस क्या है, तो उसका एट्रीब्यूट्स क्या है. साइंस के माध्यम से तो हमें पता नहीं चला. आध्यात्मिक शिक्षाओं के माध्यम से हमें ये सारे ज्ञान मिला है. So, therefore, Krishna continues after concluding the previous discussion with the 33rd shloka. So, Krishna goes ahead and Krishna says, Yata prakashayati ekah Krishnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata Krishnam prakashayati bharata. Hey Arjun, हे भारता, भरतवंशज, भारता, भारता में भरतवंशज, भरत वंश के हैं. तो हे भारता, यथा प्रकाशति, ये कहा. So son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all these universe. So Ravihi, Krishnam lokam imam Ravihi. तो सूर्य भगवान क्या कर रहा है? प्रकाशयति, हाँ, सारे लोक का प्रकाश. एटलीस्ट हमारे सौर मंडल में प्रकाश कहाँ से आ रहा है? रवि ही, बाय सन. So, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity. तो इसी तरह क्षेत्री जो है, the one within the body, क्षेत्रम क्षेत्री तथा कृष्णम, तो it is all pervading, it is illuminating the entire body by किस माध्यम से? कॉन्शियसनेस. क्षेत्रम क्षेत्री तथा कृष्णम, तो अपनी चेतना से वो सारे शरीर में what's called prakashayati, that means it is spread. How it is spread? Through the medium of consciousness. So various theories regarding consciousness. So in Bhagavad Gita, the example of sun and sunshine is given. So Prabhupada and Krishna are not just giving us some mumbo jumbo Vedic logic. They are also giving us ample discussion material and proof for what they are speaking. So here Prabhupada is telling, sun is situated in one place, ekaha, prakashayati ekaha. So although it is situated in one place, it is illuminating the entire universe that is concerned with it. So a small particle of spirit soul, although situated in the heart of this body, is illuminating the whole body by consciousness. तो ठीक वैसे ही आत्मा भी एक जगह स्थित है हृदय के अंदर, लेकिन वहां से वो हर जगह फैला हुआ है. हर देह में, हर अंग में वो फैला हुआ है चेतना के माध्यम से. So this consciousness is the proof of the presence of soul. तो जो चेतना है, this feeling of I exist, it is the proof that there is soul. So when the person is present in the body, there is consciousness all over the body. तो जब आत्मा शरीर में रहता है, शरीर का अंग अंग को वो पहचानता है. And as soon as the soul has passed away from the body, there is no more consciousness. तो आत्मा जब देह से निकल जाता है, तो उसको आप जूते भी मारेंगे तो उस देह को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तो कॉन्शियसनेस इज नॉट अ प्रोडक्शन ऑफ कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ मैटर. तो ये जो चेतना है, ये भौतिक वस्तुओं के सम्मिलन से नहीं आया है, इट इज नॉट फॉर्म्ड बाय mixture of material elements like many Mayavadis and modern day scientists tend to believe. तो आजकल के वैज्ञानिक या तर्कवादियां यही समझते हैं कि भौतिक जब धातुएं कोई परिस्थिति में under ideal conditions, under certain conditions, when they all mix together, what happens? So then there is the production of life. Whereas Prabhupada, to completely dismiss this argument, there's a compilation of his interactions with a scientist who later on went on to become his disciple, Tat Swarup Das Goswami. And the name of the book is Life Comes from Life. Life does not come from dead matter by combination of dead matter under certain conditions. Life comes from life. So, uh, the super soul, which is situated in all bodies as the friend of the individual soul, is conscious of all the bodies. तो जैसे मेरा शरीर में जो मेरा आत्मा मेरे शरीर में है, तो क्योंकि आत्मा शरीर में है, शरीर का हर कोना कोना आत्मा जानता है चेतना के माध्यम से। और भगवान परमात्मा सारे देहों के बारे में वो जानते हैं। सो ही इज कॉन्शियस ऑफ every living entity, whereas a living entity is conscious only about his existence, and Krishna is conscious of every living entity, and all living entities are part and parcels of Krishna. So, in conclusion, Krishna moves on to uh, conclude the chapter by saying, Kshetra kshetragnayor evam antaram gnana chakshusha भूत प्रकृति मोक्षम च ये विदुर यान्ति ते पराम. So it means one who knowingly sees this difference. ज्ञान के माध्यम से, ज्ञान के प्रकाश से जब आत्मा ये देख पाता है कि शरीर और जो आत्मा है, शरीरी, क्षेत्र और क्षेत्रज्ञ, so one can understand the process of liberation from his bondage, also attains to the supreme goal. कैसे भूत प्रकृति, तो ज्ञान चक्षुष से जब वो भूत और प्रकृति का जो इंटरेक्शन से पहचानता है, सो मोक्षम च, he becomes certainly eligible for liberation. So just by the knowledge of kshetra kshetragna and relation and related knowledge, by having knowledge of these things, somebody can moksham cha, he can be liberated from the material bondage, and also attains to supreme goal. Ye vidur yanti te param. Krishna concludes that one who knows this, just simply knowing that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. The spirit soul is part and parcel of the super soul, that is the super soul that is there in all pervading in all bodies, which is an expansion of the Lord. It's an amsha of the Lord. And my position is I am the servant of Krishna, and therefore I must position myself in service of Krishna always. So when a person understands this, then ye vidur, when he knows this, yanti te param, he will come back to that original highest of the worlds, that is Goloka Vrindavan. So the purport of 13th chapter is that one should know the distinction between body, owner of the body, and super soul. तो 13वें अध्याय में कृष्णा ये तैर करवाया है by his explanations that क्या तैर करवाया है कि देह और देही के बीच में जो अंतर है उसे हमें पहचानना होगा. A faithful person at first can have some good association to hear of God and thus gradually become enlightened. तो भागवत श्रवण, कृष्ण कथा के श्रवण से, हरे कृष्ण मंत्र का श्रवण से, तो क्या होगा? Gradually he becomes enlightened. So If one accepts a spiritual master, he can learn to distinguish between matter and spirit. तो आचार्य को मानना, अपनाना, केवल ये करने से what happens? He learn to distinguish between matter and spirit. तो देह और देही के बीच के अंतर को वो जान सकेगा. The spiritual master teaches his students to get free from the material concept of life by various instructions. और आध्यात्मिक गुरु मेहनत जी चान मेहनत कर रहे हैं ताकि उनके अनुयायी anugas can come out of this material concept of life and achieve the highest goal of life. So any acharya, if you see, is always trying to make his followers achieve the highest goal of life. So if somebody is doing that, he is a pure devotee. Somebody is not doing that, his aim is puja, pratishtha, labha for himself, then that person is a dongi baba. One can understand that body is matter. देह तो स्थूल शरीर पार्थिव चीजों से बना है. And it can be analyzed with its 24 elements. So देह, it's made of a combination of 24 elements, but that's not the cause of its living symptoms. Living symptoms is caused by the 25th element, that is the soul, आत्मा. और आत्मा का अस्तित्व 26th element पे निर्भर है और वो है परमात्मा. So 24 elements constitutes the body, 25th element is the soul, 26th element is the super soul. So that is gross manifestation. And the subtle manifestation is mind and the psychological effects. तो पांच इंद्रिय का देह, तो ये स्थूल शरीर है, gross material body. Beyond this is the subtle body. The subtle body is constituting mind, intelligence and ego. तो मन, बुद्धि और अहंकार का प्रतीक है. It's subtle in nature, finer than the gross elements. So over and above this, there is soul, and then there is the super soul. So this material world is working by the conjunction of the soul and the 24 material elements that constitutes this body. तो 24 भौतिक धातुओं का जो इंटरैक्शन है 25वां धातु से, 25वां धातु नहीं बोल सकते, 25वें एलिमेंट से. व्हाट इज दैट? सोल. तो आत्मा जब देह के विभिन्न विभागों पे असर करता है, देन व्हाट हैपेंस? द मटेरियल स्टेट ऑफ वर्किंग इज मैनिफेस्टेड. सो व्हाट हैपेंस फर्दर? The soul becomes eligible for transfer to the spiritual world. So what makes it eligible? Simply having knowledge of all that we studied in 13th chapter. 13th chapter is a summarization of the 12th chapter, which is a summarization of 11th chapter. Likewise, the second chapter is the summarization of the first chapter. Or we can say that it takes us in a direction that leads us towards Krishna. So all these things are meant for contemplation and for realization. तो ऐसे विषय वस्तुओं के तर्क हमें करना चाहिए, समझना चाहिए, और इससे हमें मोक्ष का प्राप्ति होगा. And one should have a complete understanding of this chapter with the help of spiritual master. तो 13वें अध्याय, so although it is not coming under bhakti yoga, it's coming under jnana yoga, but Krishna lays the emphasis that very important to understand this particular region of knowledge is the knowledge of kshetra, kshetragna. So we come to the end of the 13th chapter. So what we have studied till now in the portions that was covered from yesterday and today is by Jnana Chakshusha one can know super soul. तो क्योंकि सूक्ष्म है तो उसको भौतिक दृष्टि से देख नहीं सकते, लेकिन ज्ञान चक्षुष तो शास्त्र के वर्णनों से हम समझ पाएंगे. क्या समझ पाएंगे? कि देह और आत्मा विभिन्न है. सो दे आर नॉट दी सेम. So, like I always said before, the first shloka, the purport of the first shloka of every chapter is the introduction to that chapter, and the purport of the last shloka of every chapter is the conclusion that Prabhupada ji makes. In fact, Krishna also in the last shlokas of every chapter comes with a conclusion, makes a conclusion. So similarly, Acharya also makes a summary of the conclusion as it is that Krishna wants to say. So mind can make us blind even when the eyes can see. तो जैसे धृतराष्ट्र जन्म से अंधा था, आध्यात्मिक दृष्टिकोण से भी अंधा था. फिर लाइक ए डबल वामी इफेक्ट, दोनों तरफ से इट वाज अ लूज लूज सिचुएशन फॉर दुर्योधन, फॉर धृतराष्ट्र. बट there are many people who are bereft of vision but have attained the transcendental vision and have seen the supreme abode of the Lord. So we all should aspire to come to that kind of an understanding someday in our life. So mind can make us blind even when our eyes can see. तो हमारा स्थूल आंखें कुछ देख सकता है, लेकिन मन के अज्ञानता से हम अंधा बन के बैठ सकते हैं. So life is full of problems, but we don't have to be one of them. तो ऑलरेडी जिंदगी में बहुत सारे उलझने हैं, तो उसमें हमको खुद एक प्रॉब्लम नहीं बनना है. We must not ourselves become the problem. We must try to find solution for the problem. And if we ourselves become the problem, then it becomes a irrevocable problem, very difficult to overcome. So consciousness is the energy that enables us to experience all the energies. तो बाकी सारे शक्तियों का महसूस कोई जब कर पाएगा जब वो चेतना भगवत चिंतन की ओर मुड़ा है. When the soul has turned towards a spiritual subject matter, then what happens? That is the way all the energies can be experienced. भगवान के अनेक अनेक शक्तियां हैं, विविधैव श्रूयते. So all the energies of the Lord, many energies of the Lord, and this can be understood, felt as it is by a consciousness that is directed towards Krishna. That is, a Krishna conscious person can experience the energies of the Lord. So Prabhupada ji bolte hain, and many modern day motivational speakers also end up saying that. So I'll just read the beautiful conclusion that I heard and noted down. You will see it when you first believe in it. आप अपने गोल्स को कैसे, इवन इन द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, हाउ डू अचीव योर गोल्स? पहले वो मन में अचीव होता है, फिर वो बाहरी दुनिया में रियलिटी में अचीव होता है. फर्स्ट इट हैपेंस इन द माइंड and then it happens in the real world. So that is the conclusion that modern day motivational speakers make, and they have all taken this concept from the Vedas. So how we approach life, how we utilize our talents, whether we are utilizing these talents for self-aggrandizement or for becoming more and more Krishna conscious, will determine where my life is heading to, and beyond that also. The journey of my life is determined by choices that I make. तो मेरे जीवन का जो मार्ग है उसका आधार क्या है? मेरे choices. तो some parts of my life I've made some decisions, and those decisions have brought me to a certain stage in my life today. कहीं 20 साल पहले किए गए कुछ फैसलों से आज हम प्रभावित हो सकते हैं. So life is a series of decision making, and our decision making, not making a decision is also a decision. क्योंकि आपने कुछ डिसाइड किया मुझे डिसीजन करना ही करना, वो भी एक डिसीजन है. सो लाइफ इज फुल ऑफ एक्टिविटी. इवन व्हेन देयर इज इनएक्टिविटी, देयर इज एक्चुअली activity. So we must all remember that we must not become proud. We must remain humble servants of the Lord, because any talent that I have got, because of which I am what I am, or any talent anybody, any of you have got, you must always remember it is God given. भगवान की देन है. So we must be humble about it. तो हमें उड़ना नहीं चाहिए. अगर कोई स्पेशल क्वालिटी है हमारे अंदर, तो उससे गर्वित नहीं होना है. एंड जो फेम जो मिलता है टैलेंट को डिस्प्ले करने से, दैट इज मैन मेड. तो व्हाट इज टू बी फेमस मीन्स टू बी नोन बाय many people. So that is person dependent, population dependent. So the talent is God given and fame is man given and arrogance is self given. और ये जो अहंकार है, मुझसे ही सब कुछ हो रहा है, मैं ही सबका मालिक हूँ, मेरे इर्द गिर्द ही दुनिया घूम रही है. So this arrogance is actually self given, and it does not make a person. That's why I have not used the word self made. God made, man made, and self made. I didn't use the word self made because it doesn't make the self, it breaks the self. Arrogance, uh, ahankar. So we must be very careful about it. So, talent, we must be humble about it. Fame, we must be grateful about it. तो हमें एक attitude of gratitude we must have. And arrogance is self-given, so we must be very careful about it. And Krishna never likes arrogant people, even when or people who become unnecessarily proud. Whenever the gopis, including Radharani, would become proud of something, and Krishna would disappear from the scene. So the problems need not always scare us. We need to look at the problem in the eye and face it. तो हमारे जीवन में बहुत सारे उलझन हैं, तो उससे हमें विचलित नहीं होना है. तो we must stare at the problem eye to eye, tackle it with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, knowing that Krishna is with us. और जिसके साथ कृष्णा खड़े हो जाते हैं, यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्ण यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धर तत्र श्री विजयो भूतिर ध्रुवा नीतिर मतिर्ममा. So Bhagavad Gita starts with the first shloka that Dhritarashtra speaks is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, and it ends with the last shloka. The question that Dhritarashtra asks is answered by the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita, which we'll study in the 18th chapter. I just quoted that verse. And also, the first chapter begins with the word dharma. So what is Bhagavad Gita all about? The last word of Bhagavad Gita, 18.78, the last word is mamaha. So, in essence, Bhagavad Gita is talking about dharma mamaha. What is my duty? So what happens when you read Bhagavad Gita? Dharma mamaha. You will come to know what is your duty. So we don't have to laugh at so regarding facing problems in life. I'm taking up because this was the question asked to me yesterday after the class. Problems keep occurring in our lives. What do we do? And some memories just don't seem to go away. दुख भरी कहानी है मेरा, और इसकी वजह से मैं कुछ चीजें भूल नहीं पा रहा हूँ. So this was what was expressed by the devotee. The answer to this question is when we keep going back to the past and keep thinking about of how life has been unfair, how people have been unfair, वो तो आप बीती है, हो गया है. तो आज तो a spiritualist always lives in the present. कभी he has learned from the past and he has equipped himself with enough knowledge now to face the future. But he is never living in the past or in the future. Always lives in the present, the power of now. All spiritualists live in the power of now, the current situation. They utilize the current situation to the maximum, spiritually speaking, so that their journey towards the achievement of the supreme goal in this life is not hampered. So, here, uh, the explanation for that can be going back and crying about things that have happened and things that are over is like, if somebody tells you a joke, then we laugh. अगर कोई चुटकुले सुनाता है तो हम हंसते हैं, वही चुटकुला फिर से सुनाएगा, शायद हम फिर से हंसेंगे, तीसरी बार सुनाया, थोड़ा बहुत हंस लेंगे, चौथी बार सुना रहा है तो वही हमारा हंसी खत्म हो जाता है, पांचवी बार अगर वो सुनाएगा वही के वही, so instead of laughing at it, we'll want to hit this person because now he started to irritate. So similarly, by listening to the same joke again and again, we don't laugh. So similarly, we must not go back again and again to the past and cry over the same thing. It is not to be done. Otherwise, it is like laughing at the same joke again and again. तो जबरदस्ती हंसना पड़ेगा. तो ये बार बार पीछे की तरफ मुड़ के देखना, इट इज नॉट अ गुड साइन. हमें एक बार जब जहां पे हम गिरे हैं तो उस जगह पे हमें संभलना है अपने आप को, और पीछे मुड़ के इसलिए देखना है कि मैंने क्या गलत किया, तो उसको मुझे सुधारना है. दूसरों की वजह से हुआ, सर्कमस्टांस की वजह से हुआ, वो सब दूसरी बात है. मेरी क्या गलती थी, व्हाट वाज माय कंट्रीब्यूशन, तो दैट आई मस्ट एनालाइज and I must make sure I don't repeat that mistake. So that is how it is like moving forward. So who we are determines what we see, and it will determine how we see others, and how we see others determines our life. तो हमारे पूरे दृष्टिकोण is determined by who we are currently. आज हम कौन हैं? So it is the power of now. पहले में क्या था, पास्ट में क्या था, फ्यूचर में क्या बनूंगा, कोई मायना ही नहीं रखता. वॉट यू आर नाउ इज डिटरमाइनिंग योर करंट रियलिटी एंड ऑल्सो पेविंग द वे फॉर योर फ्यूचर. So it is our present that is very important. And we must utilize it nicely. And what is utilization of present nicely means to be always Krishna conscious. And what does being always Krishna conscious means? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep the balance, you must keep moving. तो ये अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन बोलते हैं. तो अगर साइकिल चलाना है, बैलेंस रखना है, तो हमें आगे बढ़ते रहना है. रुक जाएंगे तो बैलेंस खो जाएंगे, गिर जाएंगे साइकिल से. सो बेस्ट वे टू deal with the past is to keep moving forward. So Bhagavad Gita shows the route to the root. तो हमें भगवत गीता से स्पिरिचुअल स्ट्रेंथ मिलता है. दैट इज